You know, it's been a good while since I've done a reaction to literally anything, but you know what I have decided? I am going to summon my people. Welcome, friends. Welcome, ladies, gents, theys, and thems, to something new for this channel. See, I mean, obviously I've done React Andy content before, but we're doing something a little bit different today. And that we are going to be reacting to, not a ton, but a series of animatics that are related to an in-development musical that some of us who don't live under rocks or have a very particular slant with nerd culture have probably heard snippets of, because let's just say whenever a new song drops, it goes fucking viral. So, to give context, to give maximum context as we start with this first part, what I'm reacting to are the currently released songs for the Epic the Musical, a, well, musical based on the story of the Odyssey in development by Jorge Rivera. I'm pretty sure I said Rivera right. I put some spice on that, I didn't need to. But in development by Jorge Rivera. He posts all of the music as he develops it and then posts the full songs on YouTube. He does various clips of it on TikTok. It's actually really cool to see his process. But as part of that too, because as is natural for this stuff, if anyone remembers Hamilton, there was a crap load of animatics made for Hamilton by a bunch of talented artists and animators way back when. Really good stuff. Epic is basically shaping up to be the new Hamilton in that regard, with the internet culture around it. Now, I, a purveyor of much Greek mythology nerddom, was instantly into this idea once I first heard the songs. I have heard basically almost every song that has been officially released. I've dug into various snippets. So this is different because this isn't going to be blind. You're not going to be catching me having big, shocked reactions because I am the kind of nerd who would instantly find out about this stuff and then watch everything I can find about it because I can't help myself. So, instead, I do want to talk about the songs. Now, make a note, I'm not coming at this from a musical background. Like, there's plenty of other reactions I've seen of like, oh, musician or artist does this. No, I want to come at this from the angle of someone who appreciates music from a storytelling standpoint, but isn't here to really break down much of that. And instead, I kind of want to talk about the story being told. And to help me assist, I spent a solid 20 minutes digging across the internet to find at least one solid animatic for every currently released song. Now, there are several that are very good, that are from several artists, particularly like Gigi, Annie Flama, Wolfie the Witch, I think are like the big three. But there's several others that I did to fill the gaps, and I will give credit to all of them. I will post the links in the video descriptions as I go, but so now that we have the context on the main thing itself, though, there needs to be a bit of context, too, for what comes after, and that animatics are not canon. We do not know what Jorge's intention for the actual play is, in terms of its visuals, its dynamics, how scenes play out, so every animatic is just interpretation based on the song itself. I'm really putting animatics in the background so that my goddamn stupid autist brain has something extra to focus on and talk about and discuss, because I also do genuinely think that the animatics themselves are really cool and interesting, and seeing different people's interpretations of the story being told by the song put into some form of visuals, I think is really cool and really interesting. So, starting off today, we're going to be starting, well, we're just going in order from what's been released so far. Jorge has gotten through all of Act 1 of the story and released all the songs for that. It's like 20 songs. So I'm starting, of course, as we all do, with Act 1, the Troy Saga, which consists of, you know what, I'll just back up full screen. I have a full playlist here of all the animatics I'm going to be going through. So we're starting, of course, with the Troy Saga, which is Horse and the Infant, Just a Man, Full Speed Ahead, Open Arms, and Warrior of the Mind. So the first 5 songs. This will not all be in one video. I will probably do like 2 or 3. Depends on how much I yap during the songs themselves, especially the first 2. So, that said, I have yapped for almost 5 minutes of preamble. Let's get started with the first song, The Horse and the Infant. Expect me to pause a lot to yap about what I know about the myths as well. Now, to make a note, I'm not some scholar. I'm just some nerd who likes mythology, who has cursory knowledge of some tidbits of lore trivia. I'm more interested in the interpretations, though, of the song itself and the animatic in turn. So I'm not going to focus too hard on any attempts at mythological accuracy, because Jorge is obviously not trying to be mythologically accurate. This is just a reinterpretation in the form of a musical. A very fun reinterpretation with some differences from the myths I know about that I'll probably point out as I go. Anyway, I think 5.5 minutes of preamble is good enough. Let's actually start.
Alright, my brothers, listen closely.
Right, I got to say. So this animatic, these first two are done by Gigi, who I think is probably next to Wolfie the Witch, also one of the better animatic makers. So Gigi does really good shit. So anyway, that first beat, ooh, I love how the song starts. And to those, to point it out, Odysseus here, our first main guy here, let me pull it back, Gigi's design, I love Gigi's Odysseus, currently is played by Jorge himself, so we'll be hearing him in a lot of these mostly. I might need to look up names, because I forget everything. I don't pay attention to names as much as I probably should. Anyway, here we have Odysseus. We all know the context here, because the Odyssey starts at the end of the Trojan War, so the context is, as we start, this is the Greeks in the Trojan horse about to storm Troy. There's a lot of really fun little mythology points I'll go through as we go through here. So
tonight we make the Trojans pay. 10 years of war, they killed us slowly, but now we'll be the ones who slay. Think of your wives and your children. Your families wonder where you've been. They're growing old and yet you're still here. Do what I say and you'll see them again. Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, okay. I like the color change here. So, okay. So, this is a fun color change. So, I do like this build-up, obviously. Anyone who read the myths probably knows, like, the Trojan War went on for a long-ass fucking time. Like, obviously, you have the Iliad, which is its own crock of shit and nonsense. This is obviously all post that. So, it's not too much to worry about. We're not going to worry about the Iliad. We're not going to worry about that. But I will talk about some stuff. So here we go with the start. I'm going to start yapping about fucking Greek mythological figures and what I know about them.
Diomedes will lead the charge. Agamemnon will flank the yard.
Ah, yes, Agamemnon. The reason this all started to fucking begin with. God, fucking, I hate Agamemnon. I fucking hate Agamemnon. He's such a piece of shit. Oh, God. But hey, we're not here to worry about that. None of these guys really matter, but still, I love he's just kind of a big dude.
Menelaus will let on mates through the gates to take the whole city at large. Teucer will shoot any ambush attacking. Little Ajax will stay back. Nestor secure Helena protect.
I had to stop though. I like that the interpretation. Let's go back to that though, because I want to get the Ajax the younger, because that was a big thing. Like Ajax younger, little Ajax. Let's go back to that. Hold on.
Teucer will shoot any ambush attacking. Little
I love how he's just tiny. He's just a tiny dude in a somewhat oversized helmet. That Gigi, that's such a good interpretation. But yeah, no. If anyone knows the story, Ajax the older jumped on his own sword as ritual. Again, not gonna worry about the Iliad.
Little Ajax will stay back. Nestor secure Helena protector. Leo avenge your father, kill the brothers of Hector.
Okay. This is what I wanted to talk about. This is a fucking deep cut in the myths, and I applaud Jorge immensely for making it. Neo, full name, let me look it up. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Characters in the Iliad. Okay, so we have Achilles. Okay. I'm trying to remember his full name. Neo is obviously short. You know what? I'll worry about it later. Editing me will find out, and we'll probably post it like in the corner. Just Neo here is the son of Achilles. Oh wait, hold up. I should turn. I don't need them, but I will turn on the captions just to make it easier. I totally forgot. I don't need them. I'm pretty good at parsing lyrics, but this is such a fun deep cut in terms of just references and mythology as a whole. Because hardly anyone talks about Neo here. Hardly anyone talks about Achilles' son. And whenever he gets brought up, I'm just like, yay, they remembered he exists. Oh, the poor boy. Oh, the poor boy who had to watch, like, his father and uncle figure, depending with Patroclus, die in this war. Fuck me.
Find that inner strength now. Use that well of pride. Fight through every pain now. Ask yourself inside, what do you live for? What do you try for? What do you wish for?
Oh, I just noticed like the kind of specks in the air meant to kind of be like dust from the inside of the horse. That's actually a good detail.
What do you fight for? What do you live for? What do you try for?
Okay.
What do you fight for? Penelope.
Oh, I love the heartbeat, the way the heartbeat dials it back after we just been through like all that. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good to have it dial back like that. Penelope, yep.
Penelope and Telemachus.
Jorge, how did you fit Telemachus into a song? just the name alone, I congratulate him on this every time I listen to it. Every time Telemachus' name comes up, he does it so well. All of these Greek names are so well incorporated. Just all of the applause every time. I'll go off about it every time, but I love the dial back on the song, though. I love the way it dials back to kind of show the mood, like the calm before the battle actually starts, right? Because everything we got through, that was just Odysseus laying out his plan of like, okay, everyone's gonna do this. That's just the plan. Now, so we're dialing back. We're kind of settling the mood a little before it breaks out. And when it does break out, ooh.
I fight for us. I fight for
Do what you gotta do, Odie. Oh, see, oh, Gigi did so well. Okay. Oh, right. I should explain another detail real quick, because I remember this being talked about too. A couple of things I'll talk about too. So, one detail that Jorge has talked about, is every major character in the play is associated with some kind of instrument, right? So, Odysseus is associated with guitars, both acoustic and electric, and they're swapped between based on the mood. Acoustic guitars when he's being more humane, electric guitars when he's being more ruthless, and I'll explain why, and let's get to why I choose ruthless in particular, but also, and the other thing too, background vocals. The background vocals are meant to be diegetic. Now, if anyone knows anything about Greek theater, one major thing that was in Greek theater was always, the chorus. It was literally where we got the word chorus from. The chorus was basically meant to be like a diegetic pseudo part of the play, basically like a background representation of, like, I don't know the full details because I'm dumb and I forgot, but basically Jorge here is, I can only assume, doing this to make use of the chorus, the whole chorus in the classical term. So now these are meant to be diegetic. So when it comes to Odysseus, whenever you get background vocals like this, those are other characters, in this case his soldiers. And then when we get to the gods get to break the rules, both in the instrumentations used, I believe, and whenever they have background vocals, because to represent their power, being gods, they can just make the background vocals appear whenever they fucking want to. We'll get to that. I'll talk about it when the gods actually show up. But just know, and if you are watching, do pay attention, or if you do watch like me and are obsessed with this shit, point it out in the comments, that way other people can parse through my goddamn yapping. So, anyway. Oh god, it's already 14 minutes in. I'm definitely gonna have to split this in half.
Penelope. Telemachus. I'm on my way.
That sword flip.
Attack!
And go! Oh, just how it breaks out into all the fighting. Oh. Oh! Oh, you hear the thunder? Guess who's coming. Also, I love this interpretation. This is one of the things about the animatics that always make me curious then. Because Jorge is aware of the animatics. He is very aware of these. In fact, he openly supports these animatics and even got some of them to provide visuals for some of the demos he did. Like, I think in a live stream that I saw some clips of for the Underworld Saga, which got recently released, for one of the songs, he got a bunch of the animators come together to do little animatic portions for different parts of the song here and there. It was really cool. He is very supportive of this fan base, and it's amazing. But it makes me wonder how, whenever Jorge gets to play in visuals, how he's going to interpret some of this, whether or not, like, hey, who knows what's gonna come be influenced by the animatics, but thunder and rain, who else could that be but the motherfucker himself, Zeus?
Who was that?
Eagle.
A vision of what is to come cannot be.
Oh, I love how smooth Zeus's voice is. It's fucking great. I don't know who plays it, but major props to you, man.
Run can only be dealt with right here and now.
Tell me how.
I don't think you're ready. A mission to kill someone's son.
Oh. Okay. This is what I talked about with the gods. Like, you hear the background vocals, that the ha ha. That is not like diegetic with like the soldiers, like with Odysseus's background vocals. That is just the expression of Zeus's power as a god being put forth. Oh, also, I love the menace. I love how we've gone from the kind of like the hype, the intenseness of the fighting, and now we're just at this menacing, slow build to something inevitably horrible.
Foe who won't run, unlike anyone you have faced before.
Having context only makes it worse for me, man. I have the context and it doesn't help me. Oh, Jesus, I wonder what you mean by that. God, it always gets worse when you re-experience it.
Say no more. I know that I'm ready.
I don't think you're ready.
No, he's not.
Just an infant. It's just a boy. What sort of imminent threat does he pose that I cannot avoid?
Well,
Son of none other than Troy's very own Prince Hector. Know that he'll grow from a boy to an avenger, one fumed with rage as you're consumed by age. If you don't end him now, you'll have no one left to save. You can say goodbye to. You can say goodbye to.
I could raise him as my
oh no, this part's so. Oh.
Make sure his past is never known.
Okay, I had to stop right there immediately. Okay, just to bring it up. Hey, oh god, I want to let it cook because this part's so good. I love Odysseus trying to bargain with Zeus. Oh god, I cannot wait for like the possible presentation for himself. But I love this. Gigi is really good at the whole spinning thing too. But just this bargaining of like, just understandably, I don't want to kill this kid. But Zeus like, nah, but you gotta. But also, when Zeus says the gods will make him know, okay, this is the thing you got to keep in mind from the Iliad too. The gods took sides of the Trojan War, and so we have the Trojans, and then we have the Greeks. And the Greeks obviously are winning here. So, and because the Greek gods are pretty well known for holding grudges and being petty, Poseidon, well, let's just say that they would definitely take sides, and they would be very keen to tell a surviving child of his true origins and what happened. So Odysseus is doing this bargaining of like, I could raise him myself, and Zeus is like, nah, dude, like, some of the other gods here would tell him eventually. Like, they tell him the whole gist, and he'd be on you like a fucking ugly on an ape. Oh, God. Oh. Also, I love Jorge's voice in this scene. Like, Odysseus sounds on the verge of just freaking the hell out, and meanwhile, Zeus is powerful, low, commanding. Just, oh, oof. And then, like, with the godly background vocals added into it is, oh, such good shit. Anyway, let's finish this up, because we're already so, oh boy, it's just gonna have to be this and Just a Man, because, oh boy, I'm gonna have a lot to say on that one, too. Maybe half of them, at least.
Make me do this, don't make me do this.
He doesn't.
The blood on your hands is something you won't lose. All you can choose is lose.
Oh, I love that. I love that closing line, the menace of it. The blood on your hands is something you won't lose. All you can choose is whose. No matter what you choose in this moment, blood will be on your hands. It's up to you whose blood that is. Will it be the blood of this child, or the blood of the family you're here to fight for to begin with? Oh, so many of the lines in this musical overall go so hard, and I love it. Oh, also, again, just over this 4 minutes, I love the mood change. The mood change from like just all this stuff with like the Greeks getting to be awesome, and then you dial it back as the battle goes to just that, and then and then from all of this with Zeus commanding Odysseus and all of that. Oh, so good. Gigi, you did such an amazing job portraying this. Oh, all of my praise to Gigi for their amazing animatics, and I'll talk about it with the others too, because Gigi and Wolfie the Witch, I think, are my two favorites, and their animatics are so good. There's also Merxie, I think is how you pronounce it, correct me if I'm wrong, who also did some really good ones. There's going to be some weird switches, at least in part, because there's two of Merxies that I paired together, because I particularly liked their synergy, though I switched to, we'll get there when we get there, that's for two different sagas, and we're not focusing on that, and I got to keep time in mind, we're already 22 minutes in. Anyway, the next son. Thank you, Gigi, for the reminder of when this happens. So, thank you, Gigi. Yes, it does add to the drama. It makes it so much worse. Okay. So, there is a particular part of the song. Let me just scroll real quick. Okay, see the most replayed segment? I think me, like so many other people, discovered Epic because of a particular segment of this song that has been elevated into like TikTok and YouTube Shorts as just very commonly used for various depictions. I'll talk about it when we get there because it's really good. It is the first thing me and I'm sure many other people heard, and it's what got me to discover this entire thing. What, cat? I'm doing a thing. I need to kick my cat out of my room real quick. Hold up. Okay, cat is gone. Anyway, let me dial this back a little bit just to make sure we're okay. Now, time for pain. Time for pain. This will be the last one I record today. Just right now because, oh boy, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna somehow turn this into 30 minutes. I've only talked about 2 fucking songs. Oh. Okay, remember what I said earlier with Odysseus and how he's represented by the guitar? How the acoustic guitar is Odysseus when he's being at his most humane, his most gentle and stuff. We will see that shift. We're gonna see it shift, and I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it. Jorge, when I fucking get you. Gigi, when I get you, too. Oh god, this animatic, I love it.
I look into your eyes
and I
think back to the sun of mine. You're as old as he was.
Oh no. I thought I'd be chill. But I've actually started to no. Oh god, I'm tearing up. This is one of those moments where I'm like, oh geez, no, I've seen it before. I'll be fine. No, I'm not fine. I'm never fine. I'm never fine when this happens. Oh god, it's so sad. Oh god, Gigi. I love that transition from Gigi, just the younger Odysseus to the older, disheveled, war-worn.
These actions haunt my days. Every man I've slain is the price I pay. Endless pain. Close your eyes and spare yourself the view. How could I hurt you? I'm just a man who's trying to go.
Quick, because it pulled me out of my stupor. This is a nice. Okay, this is another one of those nice mythological deep cuts. this will be relevant so much later, but I do love this. It is a thing that Odysseus made the his and Penelope's bed within his palace back in Ithaca out of a tree. He carved it himself and then built the palace around that room. Do I know how he did it? No. Doesn't matter. No. It's a really fun detail, and I appreciate Gigi for, in this moment, portraying that. For having looked into it enough to know this detail that, yeah, no, the bed would be built on like a big old tree trunk, probably surrounded by smaller trees, because Odysseus is just like that.
Home, even all the years away from what I've known. I'm just a man who's fighting for his life.
I love the voice crack. Oh, I forgot the voice crack, dude. Jorge's voice is so good. I love that voice crack, just that brief crack to a higher octave, selling the agony going through Odysseus's mind. I love it. This is so good. I love the, okay, like, this is, there's several interpretations in the Odyssey about, like, what happened in this moment, and obviously Jorge's going with a particular one here. We'll get there. But, God, again, just musically, again, I love Jorge's voice overall, like, this one and the last one. He's so good at portraying these emotions while singing. It is astounding, and oh God, I wish I could sing that well, but I sing like shit. I would love to be able to sing like that, but I don't have the chops for it. I could probably figure it out, but I can't. My autistic ass cannot.
Deep down I would trade the world to see my son and wife. I'm just a man.
And here comes the transition. And here comes the part we no doubt all know from YouTube Shorts and from TikToks. I'm just gonna let it cook because...
But when does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? When does a man become a monster?
Keep the Shadow Odysseus in mind for later, because Gigi brings it back. And I love how they brought it back. Ooh!
When does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does the reason become the blame?
Yo, oh, wait. Oh, it looks kind of like a face. Nice on that one, Gigi. Again, keep in mind, all these visuals are just interpretation. However Jorge does this on the stage, God, ooh.
When does a man become a monster?
And the soldiers come back. Oh, I love the animation here, though. Him holding the baby by the cloth. Because if he holds it close, he's not going to be able to go through with it. Oh, no. Yep, nope, that's the way to portray this, alright. All the soldiers. Gigi,
Just a man.
And then he drops the baby from the wall. Jorge confirmed that one himself. They went with that interpretation for this play. And oh God, if they had to make a choice about which version of the end of the Trojan War to maximize the tragedy, I'm glad Jorge chose that interpretation. I thought I was prepared. I didn't break out crying, but I got very close to it a couple times. Oh boy. It's one of those things. I'm very weird. I can go back to something and like I'll have just as vivid an experience with it as I did the first time. It won't be as raw, but it'll still be there. The emotion will come back and just Oh God, the animatics are good. Gigi, your animatics are amazing. Jorge, your song, your singing, the structure, it's all so good, and I love the way it's interpreted. I love the cuts into the deeper mythology that often doesn't get talked about, even if it's just a mention of a character that happened to be involved at this point in the Odyssey. I appreciate the mention and the acknowledgement at the least. And just the way it's structured, the storytelling. God, this is the thing that makes me like musicals, right? At the least in this abstract. It was just this sense of taking these scenes and telling a story. So this is obviously the post-act, right? So, me as a writer myself, I have a bit of a thing where when I write, I like to be accompanied by music, both to set a tone or to help me focus. So, when I'm, say, writing an action scene, I'll try to find a song that pumps me up, that makes me feel excited, pumped up, boils the blood a little bit, you get me? Or when I want to listen to something to, do a calm exposition scene, I'll maybe put on some, soft little gentle lo-fi tunes or something with nature sounds included. But the instrumentation, Epic is so good because, Jorge throughout it does one thing that I really love when a musician does in his leitmotif. Characters have instruments that are associated with them. They have melodies that are often associated with their presence that'll play when either they're being referenced or when they show up. And the instrument set is important to them. I'll point them out as I go, because some of these melodies, he'll introduce a melody in a song, and then bring it back to then reference it in some way. Lin-Manuel Miranda actually did the same trick in Hamilton. Characters would have a line particular to them, or that would be said in a particular way, and whenever that line came up in another song, it would be said in about the same melody and the same cadence, so on and so forth, or referenced in another way, whatever. It's a really good trick, and I love it when it's used like that. Masayoshi Soken, who does the music for Final Fantasy XIV and also did the soundtrack for Final Fantasy XVI, also uses leitmotif all the fucking time. An expansion will have a melody associated with it, and that melody will then pop up in other songs. It'll be remixed, and changed a bit when it shows up. Maybe it'll be made more exciting, or maybe it'll be made calmer or sadder. And Jorge does the same thing, and I love it when it pops up in a different song. So, expect to hear that now, because these first two songs will be referenced again later. Trust me on that. Along with other lines and other things, and it's so good, and it tells such a good story, and much as I want to, I'm gonna have to obey some of the whims of the YouTube algorithm, and we will go to do the last half of the Troy saga next time, and then I'll just be going through the rest. I made the whole playlist, and hey, you know what? Because of the way I like to do things, I'll just be sure to pay attention to comments and bring it up at the start of the next one. So, until then, and until my next stream, if some of y'all decide to stick around after that, because, hey, I play games, mostly. Until the next, let's hope I can stay emotionally together.